Okay, boys and girls, so we left where we were finding out how we were going to chop out our little pieces of felt. Okay, so as you can see, they're my arms. I can put those over there. I've got my body pieces and I've got some other bits and pieces. So next what we have to do is we have to figure out how we're going to start putting these together. So it's very simple, a little bit of sewing. So of course you need to get a needle, okay, and you need some string, some cotton. So what I've done is I'm just using the black cotton because that way you can actually see what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you how to start it off and then I'll show you your end result. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna get a fair bit of string, okay? And if you haven't already got a nice small sharp pair of scissors, you might need to get one. Okay, now the problem that you've got sometimes is you've got to put that little bit of string or a little bit of cotton through that little hole there. Now, sometimes if you wet the end, it will go in a little bit better, a little bit easier, or it's going to prove me wrong, isn't it? So what you got to do is you just got to work on it and, oh, nope, still not. Oh, still not. I will get there. Okay, so I've got my string in there. Now, the best thing to do is you're going to have to make a, you're going to have to tie off the end. So the best thing to do is just get them even at the very end and maybe wrap it around your finger. Bring it through there and you're just going to try and get it as far towards the end as you possibly can. It doesn't really matter because if you use extra cotton, it's not really a big deal, okay? So once I've done that, I'm just going to pull it straight so I've got the straight amount in there, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my first section. So what I'm going to do is if I line up my pieces of felt, when it comes to the legs, it's easier if you leave the bottom by itself for now, because that's what you can use for the stuffing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start on the edge. Okay, now it doesn't matter how messy you make this because you're going to turn them inside out. So when I bring my cotton through, it stops there at that hole. Okay, now what I like to do is I like to do a little loop. So if I bring the string down like that, I go back in there, okay, bring it through, and what I try to do is if I tuck it underneath it, oh, that one didn't work. If I tuck it underneath, it ties it off nicely at the top, okay? Now, the reason why I like to tie it off is because I don't want it to scrunch the whole thing up. I want it to keep its size, okay? So once again, I'll show you how you do that. You just put that through there, okay? And then as you're coming up, you'll see that there is a loop there. I go back through that loop. Okay, come back down. I put it along, put it along, put it along, and it wraps around like that. It's kind of like, I guess, ugly stitches. Okay, I'll do it again. So I'm gonna just go through there. I pull that through, and then once again, loop through without stabbing yourself with the needle, okay? All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep doing that all the way along as much as you can. If it runs out, all you gotta do is you just gotta cut the two of these, and because you've got two strings there already, you just tie it off, make a knot, okay? So that's all you gotta really do. So once you've continued on that, you'll end up with one like this, okay? Now, it looks fine for now. What you've got to figure out is, are you going to join it with buttons to the body, or are you going to leave it the way it is and just sew the side? So we can do that in the next video. But what you've got to do is you've got to turn it inside out so that you can put the stuffing in, okay? So once you've done the legs and the arms, I'll do the body and I'll show you later on, you've got to then push all this through. So the easiest way to do it is you're just going to crumple it up, push it all through, and if you can get your fingers in there, which you should be able to, if you push it through, and as you can see, it is a little bit harder than it looks. Still pushing it through, pushing it through. Sometimes it might be easier to put a pen in there or something like that, but eventually you will get the foot out. Now I will actually put a pen in there, okay, and I'm just gonna push it through, like I said, and it makes it a lot easier. Now, when you have a look at my stitching, it's not perfect, but it's nothing horrible either, okay? So the easiest way then is eventually, which I'll show you in the next few steps, I'm gonna then put some stuffing in there, and then I'll be able to sew up the top bit, okay? So remember, that's my club foot. If you are creating one of these feet, okay, it is slightly different because you're getting your piece of material that you chopped out of here, and you're just folding that in half, and then you're just stitching along that one section, okay? And as you can see, if you are doing the button idea like I did on this club foot, you are just going around and you're tightening that up with some string, and then you're running across the top. So if you have a look at this, and I put my club foot up there, you can actually see where the line is, okay? Now, this one here, you can do it a bit lower. I did it a bit higher. So you could actually go down and crunch it up to there, okay? And then you could do your hole there and go straight across with your sewing. So, and then you can of course stitch the top bit there, but we're not stuffing anything just yet. We're just gonna make sure that we get our sewing organized. So it's completely up to you if you wanna do the club foot or you want to do this one here where you've actually got the foot pad to go on there. So give it a go, and my next video, what we'll do is I will have hopefully sewed all of these together, and then I will show you how we stuff them. So if you want to get ready for that, you can get some quilting material, which you can get from any store like Spotlight, or you can just use tissues or cotton buds. If you've got some cotton wool in your cabinet in the bathroom, just grab that and you can stuff it with cotton buds if you want. So completely up to you. Alrighty, that was part 2 all done, and part 3 we will look at stuffing. All right, I'll catch you then. Bye.